on now to the University of Cincinnati. The Bearcats open their season this Thursday against Austin Peay. That game will be at Nippert Stadium, 7 p.m. Eastern Time start, and will be on ESPN 3. Do we have Coach Fickell on the line?
We're on.
Well, all right. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the call today. If we could get your thoughts on the preseason and on the opening game with Austin Peay, if you could, please.
Yeah, no, just excited again. We kind of try to attack this thing as a nameless, faceless opponent. Obviously, it's Austin Peay, but everything obviously being new and the first year for our program and the things that we're doing, it's really a time for us to focus on ourselves, and really excited about the culture on display.
Take questions for Coach Fickell, please. It's *1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue.
And we'll go to Tom Groenscher with the Cincinnati Enquirer.
Hey, Coach. Just a couple questions. The quarterback situation, are you ready to announce that, or when will that starter be named?
I think we're going to do that today.
Okay.
Does that mean you
wanted that right now? It's going to be Hayden Moore.
It's going to be Hayden Moore. So, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that actually in the press conference and stuff tomorrow. Tomorrow or today? Tomorrow. But we will name Hayden the starter.
Could you just give a brief description as to why that is?
Well, I think it kind of comes down to experience, consistency in the things that we're doing, and the management of our offense. And I think that's where we really had to break it down to find the things that give us the opportunity to be successful, and successful now. And it was very tight and tough battle, very competitive. And if you were here, you saw us kind of bounce back and forth from day to day with who's with the ones, and but it really comes down to the whole body of everything that we're doing, the consistency to give us an opportunity to be successful at what it is that we want to do.
Is Ross, what is his health, his status with the, the abdominal strain, right?
Yeah, he's obviously been hampered by that, and it didn't help him in the competition. I think probably a week after the big scrimmage, or a couple days after the big scrimmage, is when that really started bothering him. So that put him quite a bit behind the 8 ball with missing some days, and how well did he really feel, and how much mobility did he have for a good couple weeks there. But it is what it is, and we had to continue to move forward, and we knew we were going to have to make a decision, and obviously everybody understands that.
Thank you. Just one more thing quickly. With Austin Peay, we talked briefly about them, I think, last week, and I believe they have a 27-game losing streak, and you mentioned how obviously they probably believe they're better, and you believe you're better. What do they do? What kind of team do they have, the people that haven't seen them, and what concerns you about them, despite the apparent difference in where the programs are?
Well, I think from the get right now, just off the start, not knowing some things, 13 transfers, whether it's junior college or Division I transfers that they've got. So it could be a completely different look for them. Now, I don't know where those guys exactly fit in. They haven't released everything. So right then and there, it tells you that they've probably upgraded a lot of the potential on their rosters in any position. Offensively, they're going to make you play honest. I mean, the quarterback is a viable option to run the football on any play, and is obviously probably the guy that really truly is the focal point of the offense. Like, not that everybody, the quarterback isn't the huge important position, but when he has the opportunity to run the ball and every single play possibly, it opens up a lot of options for him and poses a lot of different threats for you as far as the defense. And then for them defensively, they struggled, like we said, last year. But they do have 6 returners on defense coming back. And I think that you'll probably see a lot of new faces, I would guess, with a lot of the transfers and junior college guys, that's where they probably try to upgrade their roster as much as anything.
So obviously you'll tell your team, despite their recent history, we respect all, the usual cliches.
Yeah, You do, and yeah, it is. But I mean, again, from the get-go, people have asked about the season. People have asked about different games, and to be honest, we've focused on ourselves. And that's no disrespect to us. There's no disrespect to to our rivals in Miami or any game that we really have. When you really kind of kickstart and then create a new culture and doing a lot of the things that you got to do. For us, it was a big focus on us and ourselves. And how do we get better? How do we become the best that we can be? And the only way to do that is to focus on yourselves and kind of take the nameless, faceless opponent from the get-go.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Chris Zanini with the All-American.
We have Chris. Check your mute button quick, Chris, if you would.
Yeah, sorry about that. Thanks. Hi, Coach. Matt Luke at Ole Miss became the interim head coach during the summer. You kind of went through a similar situation at Ohio State. What advice would you give to a coach who gets promoted to a job like that in a difficult situation?
Don't do what I did because it didn't go as well. But no, I think it still comes down to being yourself. And you can't. I tried to take over in a short amount of time and say, hey, I'm going to try to make this thing as similar as I possibly can. I think that was probably the worst thing I could have done because I couldn't be consistent as a leader every single day. In my case, trying to be as much like Jim Tressel as I possibly could. So, when you have that opportunity to be thrust into a leadership role, I think the greatest thing that you can do is be yourself. Because without having consistency in what you're doing, it's really, I think, almost impossible to maintain something throughout the entire season or however long that lasts, being somebody you're not. So, it's a difficult situation. There's a lot of hurdles and different things that you got to go through and try to probably don't over-evaluate and then be who you are because 18 to 22-year-olds can adapt pretty quick.
Was there anything you did or changed that did work that you would advise?
Again, every situation is a little bit different. The thing I thought I did at least help me out as much as anything is kind of taking those first 2, 3, 4 weeks to really try to get some advice from different people and then try to hone in on what exactly it is and how are you going to go about it. And whether I was right, wrong, or indifferent, that was my way of doing it. And I said, this is how I'm going to do it in order for me to try to be consistent. So I think it's having a plan and sticking to a plan no matter what the situation, because there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be all different kinds of emotions that are going to go. So I think that's one of those things that you can't always, you're not going to be able to change who you are and what you're doing on a weekly basis based on, the emotions of things. And then you got to realize that, outside of football, this is going to take a toll emotionally on your football team, and you got to have a plan for that. And, I thought we did and knew that we had to be really, really good early in the year because at that time I said it's going to hit our guys late in the year. They're going to be drained emotionally because of all the stuff that's flying around us. And I was right. We didn't handle it great, but I was right that, we lost, I think, 5 or 6 of the last 7 games. And because of the emotional drain that you have in turmoil in a situation like that.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Dan Tortora with WakeUpCallIt.com.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
To take a look at coming through the fall and getting this team prepared for your first opportunity to helm the team, just what you can say about how the team's responded to what you've worked to implement and just what you saw carry through the fall and head into this first game.
Well, I think it really began with, our expectations of them. I think that was, what we wanted to get across first and foremost. And I've been incredibly impressed with their attitudes. We had ups and downs. We've got days where, they don't quite understand maybe the expectation or how we go about things and what it takes, discipline-wise, to sustain, excellence and have an opportunity to play for championships. But their attitude hasn't wavered. And I think, that's what, ultimately gives us a chance to be successful in the end, and even throughout the entire season. There's, they have an attitude. They know it's going to be difficult. They know that we're going to give them some things that, that they haven't seen, and have an expectation for them that they're not quite sure that they can handle. But their attitudes have been exactly what we're asking for. They haven't, questioned us. They haven't whined. They haven't complained. They just continue to, do the things we ask them to do. We can do better, but continue to do them with the right attitude.
And going off of that, running back Mike Boone said that he felt almost immediately, and not just for himself, but for the team, that there was an immediate buy-in. They were immediately there listening to you and hearing out what you had to say. Did you get a sense of that on your end of it? Did you feel like the team was right there with you from the beginning?
I did. I didn't know exactly what to expect. But, when guys don't have success right away, or they haven't had success maybe in the last 2 years, they're not dumb, and they know that there needed to be a change. And they were, quite honestly, they were at open arms with it. Sometimes it's, there's situations where guys leave for something and they had done a good job, and sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to get them to believe and buy in right away. So I think they were kind of in a time where they were looking at it as, hey, this is an opportunity for us to do something different. So I think we walked into a good situation. We made it very difficult from the get-go, and I really truly believed after like 2 or 3 days, I said, wow, they do want something different. They are willing to understand that there's going to be an incredible amount of changes. Now we just got to see how their attitude sticks with it.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate your time.
Sure.
We'll go next to James Ernst with Grueling Truth.
Hi, Coach. I wanted to get your opinion on how the seniors have been able to step up and be leaders and be able to integrate the game plan into the program.
They have done a very good job, and that's what, to me, I think it gives us a better chance. We've got a group of senior guys that haven't had the success here that they've wanted, and they have been good leaders for us. And leadership in our way might be a little bit different than maybe what they're used to. So we're still trying to make sure that they understand what our expectation as a leader is. But we have the makings of those guys. They have some experience. They have the things that you need, because they are players for us. They are in positions to have people immediately respect them because they are good football players. They have done a lot of things here. So it's given us an opportunity. But now it's still a consistent thing that we're still trying to teach them. Not like we have a class for it, but teach them what our expectations are for leadership, and we will be tested. There's different tests from the time we walked in the winter to spring ball to the summer, and now our greatest test is how our leadership can carry through fall. And even in camp, our leadership is tested with what I call the human elements, when some things start to come in, where it's playing time and things like that. So they've answered the test. They've answered the bell for all the things we've asked them to do so far. We've got some more tests coming up here soon.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Time for one more for Coach Fickell, please.
We'll go next to Bill Cook with GoBearCats.com.
Coach, quickly, can you elaborate a little bit more on what Hayden Moore brings to the table besides experience?
He brings it, not just an experience of playing, but he brings a knowledge. I mean, obviously being a fourth-year junior guy, that it's not just that he's played, but he's been through. He's seen a lot of things. He's seen 3 different systems, to be honest with you, maybe 4, and what he's done here. So those kinds of things sometimes take a little bit longer, like through the spring. The transition of some things take a little longer because the ability to trust and all the different things that he's had to go through, even in his 4 years here, are something that will vote well for us, I think, throughout the entire season. Not just, he had experience. He started 8 games or 7 games last year, and he had a lot of And then I think our clarity and Coach Denbach's clarity with him as opposed to what we expect. Here's what we expect out of a quarterback, and making sure we're really clear to him. Now, what does that mean? Throwing for 400 yards and what is successful for us as a quarterback is really key. And I think that being a mature kid going through a lot of those things